Hello and welcome back to The Broken Doll. And tonight I come to you with my Shirley Temple. And where are we with Shirley Temple? Okay, I have sanded her down. And now what I'm going to do is take my trusty little fiber cloth and I'm going to wipe her down. Take the dust off of her body. You can see that it filled up. I sanded her down. It filled up all those little nicks that were either through myself, through play, or manufacturing issues right there. So what I'm going to do is wipe her down with my rag. Okay, that's what I do. I'm going to put her off to the behind me here. There we go. She's back behind. And now I'm going to do an arm. There we go. Arm is wiped down. Wipe off the next arm. We're just getting off all the dust that collects on them from sanding them. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to do her leg. There we go. And now her face. There we go. Now she's all wiped down and she's ready for painting. Now, paint. Let's talk about paint. Well, I went on a paint hunt and I started looking for paint. Now this is what I use here. I keep these. This is what I get my Miracle Whip mayonnaise in for myself because I'm the one that really eats the mayonnaise around the house, which I don't need. But I put it in a lot of salads right now because it's summer. And, you know, tuna and whatnot too. So what we usually do with it. But I love saving the containers and using it for paint. They're wonderful containers for paint. But before I start filling that up with paint, I found more paint. I found these two sitting by. This was the paint that I made for this. It was sitting over yonder and I was like, what did I do? I know I made a great big giant thing of paint up. But what if I hadn't? And you were wondering, Tammy, how are you going to make your paint up? What would you have done? Well, let's take a look. I live in Canada and we have environmental laws in my province here of Ontario. I think the other provinces do as well. But anyhow, like many places, even other countries are starting to get a little bit more environmental friendly and whatnot. We don't have any longer oil-based paint to use for on a regular base. We're using a lot of latex and whatnot, like many places are as well. And so anyways, to get your hands on a big gallon of oil paint, you can't find it. It's not to be had. I have done the research. I could bring it in, but I'm not going to do that because the weight of a gallon of paint is pretty expensive. But anyhow, we do have a way out for us Canadian gals out there or gentlemen who like to restore dolls. We have a thing called Tremclad. Tremclad is oil-based and it isn't a gloss though, but I kind of like the gloss. I've kind of gotten used to it and I like the way it looks. Now, I use this as my base. You always base with white and build from that on your flesh tone. So I would take my little container here and open this up, pour in some white into that. But what would I base it also with to get my flesh tone colors? What other colors would I use to get flesh tone? Well, I would put in my orange. My orange would go in next. There it is right there, orange. And then I would take a little bit of red and slowly add in my brilliant red. I wouldn't add a lot because red is hard to get back out, so you want to be careful with it. And then my burnt umber. And then that's how I would get my beautiful flesh tone that I have here. That's how I've always done it. I've tried many different ways beforehand where I've tried other colors and different ways and I just come up with some different color paint and I'm like, well, that was good. I've just come up with a new paint color, I think, you know, but it's not good for the doll. I've stuck to this. It works for me. Now, for anybody next, they probably have their own, you might have your own way of making your paint. But this is for somebody who's new and trying to figure it out. Believe me, I don't have any art background. So I had to figure this out on my own. And once I did, I think this is black. I brought lamp black. Let me see if I can get my burnt umber. Don't use black. Oh my goodness, what did I just show you there? That's horrible. Let me see if I can find my burnt umber. I grabbed the wrong one when I was putting these back. There it is, burnt umber. That's what you want. Do not use black. No, no, no. Unless you're doing a black doll, then you, which I want to learn how to do that too, because I have a couple here that are going to need repainting, and I got to learn how to make black, just like we make flesh tone for Caucasians. I need to learn how to make it for black dolls. So that's going to be really interesting. I don't know if you use black or brown. I got to figure that one out. I want to figure it though. I want to sit and figure that out. There's got to be a way of doing that. What would you base it? Well, I guess you would you base it with white? Maybe you use brown. Maybe it's the burnt umber you would use. I don't know. Something. I am excited to learn that one next. That's going to be a real turning point in my doll restorations when I get my little black, they're just little black dolls with the nice little braids on them, and they need to be repainted and to be restored again. So it's going to be really exciting because it's a whole new avenue for me to go down. It's going to be wonderful. And to learn how to do that, to make that flesh tone up and paint with it, because I'm excited about that. But anyhow, burnt umber, that's what you want. You put a little bit of burnt umber in here. So anyways, stir, 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 because you think you're just done stirring, and you start painting, a little bit of red shows up. Or a little bit of orange might show up. So you got to stir till your hand wants to fall off. And make sure you're stirring those colors in really, really good. And then you got your flesh tone, and this is what I get for my flesh tone right here. And it works. Now, again, too, I don't try to do flesh tone according to my skin or anything. I always think doll flesh tone. Take a look at what your doll looked like beforehand. That's why I take pictures. Now, you got to remember, though, and I'm putting this in there, is that remember, the doll is now 80, 90, maybe 100 years old or older, and it has a lot of dirt inside that paint, so it could have darkened the paint. So you got to take that into account. But how bright was that skin tone when it first came out? And that's what you got to kind of hit for, is that flesh tone. I always call it doll flesh tone. That's what I call it. But it's not hard to do. Once you get onto it, you start feeling better and better that you can do it. Like now, I really feel really good at making the next one. And I can pretty much match up to this again. I'm getting that good at it, where I know what to do to make this color again if I happen to have run out. But I made such a big container of it that you can see I just use spaghetti jars. This is Classico here, Alfredo sauce. So there you go. I use whatever I have coming in the house. And but anyways, there you go. I hope that helps some of you out there that are new to restorations, or for those that just wanted to know how I did it, and we all have our own way, and what works for you might not work for me, and blah, 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 or we might want to try what somebody else has done and just say, hey, I want to see how that works for me too, even though I have my own way. Nothing wrong with that either, because I listen to a lot of people and what they do, and I've tried their way out too, and I sometimes combine it with what I do, or I just do it their way, or I just find my own way through it. There you go. But anyways, the next thing will be is getting my area ready to now paint her, and I don't know if I'm going to paint tonight. It's getting rather late. I'm really tired tonight, but I do want to start tomorrow on painting her. So I don't want you to think I've forgotten to make a video. I just wanted that spackling to harden up really good. I gave it like a good 24, 36 hours. It was ready to be sanded. She was ready for sanding. And I did it last night about 3, 4 in the morning. There you go. And then I went to bed after I sanded her, so, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and there's more to come. Painting Shirley Temple. Yahoo Mountain Dew. There you go. All right, we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.